We were sitting around the dining room table upstairs in Ruby and Geraldo's home, and we had not yet bought the hotel to create a children's home. And Baxter was saying that it meant so much to him to come there because that house was full of blessings. And so when we were looking for a name, Ruby, who is the house mother, she said she wanted it to be House of Blessing.
House of Blessing for me was a dream. I've always shared with my husband that I wanted to have a children's home. And it wasn't till Geraldo and Ruby talked to us about selling their property to us to have the House of Blessing that it became a reality. And they said, hey, we want to become the house parents of the home.
When we got down there and we started a soup kitchen and we started an education program and we sponsored building houses and medical needs, we met them and all these things, but we found so much abuse and abandonment in Honduras. And so we wanted to have a place where children could go where it would be safe.
We said from the beginning that our children, we would never have an orphanage environment. We wanted it to be a mom and dad, and for the children to feel like they were in a family unit. It's so important for us, for our kids to feel that.
Going back to when we first landed in Honduras, they immediately came up, and all I remember is some kid wrapped his arms around me,
hugging us.
And you fell in love with that family like instantly.
These 4 kids, Ruth and Moises and Astrid and Milton, just bring you right into their world.
We had 4 teenagers that went with us this year, and to see how they connected with all of those children. You would look back there and you'd see one of the children laying across somebody, and our teenagers from our church got attached to them. It was very obvious.
We're sitting there and, it was Moises and Astrid, and they were just running everywhere, trying to talk to everyone. And I was like, I don't know if these kids know any English at all. Well, maybe they know rock, paper, scissors. So I started playing that with Moises, and then he was almost instantly attached. I mean, he was wanting to sit beside me. Me and Mama even ended up switching seats so I could sit right beside him. It was a really strong connection that me and him had, and I'm glad that we got to have that. It was probably one of the best things of the week.
We would always play Uno almost every night, and they loved to cheat, it was so funny.
And Milton would say, I'm so sorry.
I am the champion.
No one else can be the champion but him. And he smiles and he just, okay, I cheat, I'm the champion.
Astrid was, she's 5. You can't help but just your heart melt when you have a little girl like that. You spend time around them. Last day that we were getting ready to give candy out to the buses, and it was about to rain. I gave her my rain jacket and she put it on, and for some reason she came and grabbed my hand and Brooke's hand and just wanted us to walk around with her. It just melts your heart.
Our kids have lived things that most adults have never lived in their young ages. And if you look at them, you would never know it. But it's the love of Christ. We know that God has a plan for these children, a mighty plan. So when we see our kids with the teams, we're all one big family. We are one big family.
They go with us out and they serve just like the teams do, which I think that makes the teams know that not only are they getting educated and getting well, the love of Christ is in the children.
They were part of the mission team also. So anytime we went somewhere, they got to experience just what we got to experience, and they got to introduce themselves just as much as they're part of our team as we were.
people ask, do you want them to go to the States? Is that no? Absolutely not. Honduras needs Christian leaders. We want them to be the next Christian leaders.
I have to believe God has big plans for them, you know, how they are going to serve because of their life experiences. Because, you know, I think they'll always know, just like a lot of us, you know, I've been rescued. So I need to turn and help point other people to who's going to rescue them and how they can be rescued.
I see the children pursuing you all and winning your hearts. And then when I see your hearts melt, it blesses me because I know you're going to want to be a part of what Glow's doing through God.
Miss Gwen was talking and she was saying, you're just going to want to take these kids home. And I was like, I don't know, because I'm not that attached to like little kids. And she was so right. Like I would like even just want to go back there to see them.
I was not expecting like when we were leaving the airport that we would be like sad, like I want to see you again, I might not. I didn't know that I would grow that close to them where I'd be like, I'm gonna miss you.
I think about the difference when we landed and walked out of that terminal and here they are hugging us and I'm like, who are these kids? And then we go to leave and they're in that same terminal and
I've got a good picture of April just in tears. It was heartbreaking to leave there.
It was like you're leaving family.
It was.
I mean, they're in great hands. They're Ruby and Geraldo are amazing, and but all of them were hard to leave. It was just leaving family is what it felt like.
They're special kids. They have all gone through tough situations, but they are loved on now, and I hope to go back and see them.
Well, I wasn't expecting what we saw.
It's hard to describe. It was extremely emotional.
An experience like that makes it real.
The other part that I want teens to always take away, that there is joy in the midst of not having.